our call to worship. What frees me to be creative? Letting go of constraints and releasing my fears. Trying something new. Laying on the grass and looking up into the wide, endless blue sky and wondering about everything. Don't listen to people who tell you your dreams and ideas can't be done. Ask them, why not? And then find your way, stepping boldly along your path, finding kindred spirits who believe in your wild ideas, your crazy visions, your passion for living. Our chalice lighting. We light this chalice, symbol of our faith. May it light a spark of creativity in our hearts that blossoms in this community and reaches out in love to our community and the world.
We are poets, heroes of the abandoned words, knights in shining armor, riding a dying horse, flies in a room full of spiders, caterpillars that work an entire life to be butterflies for a day, dreamers in a place where dreaming is considered fog in front of a speeding car. We are writers, bleeding words on pages that are always empty, writing until our blood becomes ink and our fingers become pen, writing until the simple act of moving a pen becomes breathing. Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Susan Pfeiffer. I am the program director for Hear Hear Poetry, which is a small nonprofit organization here in the Springs. Our mission is to affirm every individual to listen, write, and share. And that's about it. So we're here today with the 2015 National Slam Poetry Team, who is heading to Oakland next month to compete as the Colorado Springs National Slam Poetry Team, defending group peace champions. And so they're, right, yeah, that's worth it. We've sent a team to the national tournament. We just returned from Atlanta with our first youth slam team. So both of those programs are available to you. Please come and find us. This is what we do. We run open mics. The scrape of laughter fills the room, and praying, prying eyes behind shot glasses leer as she slowly ventures in. Her dainty fingers quiver holding a virgin pen. She signs, then passes to a confident meaty hand, and a variegated band of voices begins to form a list. She stands, goes first, steps over snickers towards stage, whispering past wolf calls after the speakers sound her name. The audience is a minefield whose dangers are lost amidst the sacrificial shotgun beats of her own heart, as she abducts that microphone and tells the world how her boyfriend hits her. Welcome to an open mic, where young men confess to the witchcraft of loving other men, closet doors flung off hinges and light flooding cellar depths, where a wisdom generation of bards writes shards of songs to share with the hot cold mouths of babes and children, fetal position burst forth from guts through throats to find their God's voice and swing from it screaming, "This is my name, this is my voice, I am not alone." And hands, unfamiliar, put down glasses, crash in awed tidal wave applause, and go in, poet. A poet? Show your demons to the brightness of the sun. Let him swallow them undone like bitter morsels until they burn and char in his mouth. Raise your skin past your scars. Let their shiny, tender gloss fade into the Mars of your flesh. Show your wounds to the brokenness of us. Let your wrists bleed words, your carriage curry you one more day, because it takes strength to stay alive, and sunrise means survival. And my friends, I will see you in the morning for breakfast. Welcome to an open mic, where catharsis crawls up chords and strangles the horrors seeping from hissing lips and contorts confessions into psalms. Paint with your palms the canvas of my ears, the colors you have always seen, the colors you have always been, the ones that you were made to believe dirty or ugly or not enough. Play me a symphony of your successes and sorrows, your future tomorrows. Sing me the sincerities and sarcasms that linger in the tenor of the voice you reserve for yourself. Come to the poets when your parents abandon you, when the priests tell you it's too late, when the shrink's pills are caught in your throat, and when the putrid stench of certain memories threatens to ambush you. Write me a war cry, this stage. Write me a ballad, my stage. Write me a sonnet of survival, your stage. Write me a villanelle, a sestina, a prayer, our stage. Write. And hear, these words, a music box. Let them dance from my tongue until the claws let go, until my shame dies a death, the length of this poem. Thank you. I think something that the people I'm about to introduce to you have in common is they all started out wanting to be poets and ended up becoming the poem instead. So please welcome Mallory, Nico, Cam, Bees, and Drew to the stage.
9 instruments of faith were broken in a Charleston church.
Countless transgender sisters' songs are muted by those who refuse their names.
12 soundtrack scores went silent in an Aurora, Colorado movie theater.
America's music is broken.
We've become a system of solo acts.
Just singing loud enough to drown out our neighbors.
I want to be a jazz band. To change the metronome our country's leaders preach.
Like the poor need the wealthy.
Racism is an illusion.
Our country is free.
Our country is fair.
I want to be a jazz band to weave police sirens in Ferguson.
With Baltimore protesters wailing in pepper spray dissonance because playing intention drives resolution.
I want to be the base, the upright foundation this country wants to build, the thump that builds the pulse of our music.
I want to be a saxophone, the instrument that sings of love even when lonely.
I want to be a trumpet that isn't afraid to be muted.
If it means another instrument can shine,
To learn to be background music during someone else's solo. I want to be a jazz band. To step into the spotlight with a voice that matters. To speak out when the politician's positive melody doesn't match the massacre at Sandy Hook. I want my music to matter. I want my music to inspire.
I want my music to heal our bleeding communities.
to stop weapons of violence.
From becoming moments of silence.
I
want to be a jazz band.
To play my instruments a new way every day.
To teach others they have instruments they don't know about yet. To show how beating hearts and fists played the first drums.
To bring back the music that gave voice to a revolution.
I want to be a jazz band.
To fight back.
To stir the pot like bitches brew.
To find my voice.
To be a voice for the voiceless.
To speak volumes for the silent.
To step into the spotlight for the hidden. To be background music to fights that are not
our own. I want to be a jazz band.
To say something, do something.
Change something. Change everything.
To never finish this.
Work in progress.
Robert Frost said, I like this, it's a poem begins as a lump in the throat, a sense of wrong, a homesickness, a love sickness. We believe that when we speak our stories, transformation happens. We believe that when the spirit moves, that community and unity come out of discord. And we recognize that we need to start where we are, name our experiences, and share them so that people can grow and we can transform our world. Please welcome Mallory and Bees.
100 feet away from each other. I hate to fear the worst when I see a black man.
I hate to fear the worst when I see a white woman.
But passing you on abandoned streets is the nightmare I've been taught to have. All catcalls and wolf whistles, all thug and aggressive. These streets spell assault for me.
All accusations, dispatching police. They shoot first, ask questions later. These streets are death row for me.
When I see your color is violent tendencies.
My baggy jeans is hiding something.
Your walk toward me is predatory.
My skin is motive enough to lead me to your slaughterhouse of assumptions when you see me as anything other than
police process meat, making sure the morgue stays fed.
I lower my head to prevent suspicion like I've been taught.
I carry my keys like claws to defend my body like I've been trained. I'm just trying to get home safely.
Without crime tape and chalk outlines.
Without feeling traumatized. I've forgotten how to walk without the weight of dead bodies in each step. My missing sisters left to die in so many unmarked garbage can graves.
My innocent black brother's blood running through unforgiving gutters.
These streets weren't safe for them. They aren't safe for me either. 75 feet and counting. White women are taught to be afraid for a reason.
Black men are expected to be afraid for a reason.
Afraid of walking alone.
Afraid of just walking.
Afraid of where you going, girl, and the black man who followed me home when I was 15.
Afraid of white women's 911 speed dial.
Afraid of burned out street lamps and hands reaching out from darkness.
Afraid of police lights and rights that claim to protect me. Of where do you think you're going, boy?
And tasting concrete for anything less than utter compliance.
Of what your testimony could do to me if I even make it to trial. Lynch mobs were formed for less than these encounters.
These streets aren't safe for us, 50 feet and counting. I'm an equal opportunity, fast heartbeat, runaway waiting to happen. What I know is run, run for my life, run. Don't try to fight. If you get caught, don't resist. It will only make it worse for you. These streets aren't safe for us, 25 feet and counting.
Fear breeds hate.
I hate that I can't walk these streets safely.
I hate that you're the reason why.
Hatred breeds memory
You
loss.
forget that I am human. I am target practice in these streets. To serve and protect was never promised to me.
I forget the neighborhood looks out for me but watches your every move. That sirens don't sing you savior songs. I forget these streets are safer for me than they are for you. 10 feet and counting. We're just trying to make it alive. 5 feet.
4,
3,
2.
We're just trying to make it 1. Home.
The comfort of those who care. May we encounter patience along our growing edges and compassion in our most tender spots. Here may we find the inspiration and encouragement we need to face our challenges and nurture ourselves. And in the presence of suffering across the globe, may we redouble our efforts to practice kindness where we are, with the hope that the light of our actions travels like the light of faraway stars. May our gestures of compassion and generosity seed possibility. May we walk humbly with one another, choosing reconciliation over resentment as we try to live right-sized. When life presses in and shifts us off balance, when pain assails us, when frustration mounts, may the rhythm of our breath steady us and bring us back to a place of gratitude.
Beat, 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 beat.
When I am too weak to hold on to life.
Before the machines and flatline screams, I want to talk my doctor out of trauma. Regardless of dignity, death comes, and I demand control of my own heartbeat.
I deserve to choose that it's my time to go. There is always a reaping, a quick scythe for some, a long embrace for others. Hospice beds aren't easy to lie in.
Sometimes a pillow,
sometimes a screen. Hospice beds aren't easy to die in. We send our pets adrift on a gentle wave of sleep, but ask our parents to go terrorized into the dark until life and lungs collapse.
I don't want to say goodbye to my grandfather. I want my grandfather to have the chance to say goodbye before the ability of speech is stripped away.
Hippocrates never knew life with illness like this. My
My
physician's assistance is not the harm he meant.
Making my own choice doesn't hurt. not like cancer.
COPD.
Heart failure.
Alzheimer's, not like waiting for the axe to fall.
My senses to fail.
My labored breathing.
My organs to shut down,
Not like waiting around for whatever terminal diagnosis terminates me first.
Regardless of dignity, death comes, and I demand control of my own heartbeat. I want to take it back from a God I don't believe in.
This is not suicide. This is my sprint to the finish line
Before my illness wins the marathon. Because pain should only run so long before it runs out of breath.
Don't watch me slowly drown in my own body, trapped in a disease that floods my lungs on dry land.
Don't watch me desperately fight the sinking.
Don't watch me sink and drown anyway. Let me choose my death day. Celebrate it like my birthday.
Let people tell me how I touched them before I'm too cold for it to warm me.
Let my death be a moving on. Less solitary.
more turning page.
Less death took them from us.
More death will take care of them for us.
Less I never had the chance to.
More, I'm glad I got to say, I love you.
Thank you.
I will remember you.
Goodbye.
Let me maintain control when I've lost control everywhere else. Legalize my body. Legalize my autonomy. Legalize death on my terms. Legalize the number of beats in my heart.
Let me hand over my
beat.
soul without
Beat,
splinters. Lock fingers and hold the Reaper's
beat.
hand before he grows too grim.
Beat.
Give me a
Beat,
funeral
beat.
for the living.
Beat,
A death with dignity surrounded
beat.
by those I love.
Beat. Beat.
How blessed the countdown
Beat,
of
beat.
heartbeats to single
Beat,
digits.
beat.
The sacrament of hearing
beat.
goodbye.
A gentle
beat.
exhale of body.
Beat. Beat.
A relief.
After a heated conversation about Ferguson with my parents, after recounting the words of black mothers, black fathers, black poets, about the heartbreak, the fear, after telling my parents about other parents like them who are afraid to raise their children under the jowls of police dogs, my dad ends the conversation with, "Well, Nicole, America isn't the worst place they could live in." Lately, I've been thinking about America. I've been thinking about my childhood, sitting on the lawn on the 4th of July, watching fireworks go off in the distance. Fireworks are simple things. Gunpowder in a canister igniting, creating a loud bang, a star-shaped hole in a black sky. Guns operate in much the same way. Lately, I've been thinking about this town. In 2012, the Waldo Canyon fire engulfed the city in smoke. In 2015, a bomb was detonated against the wall of the local NAACP office, Colorado Springs. I know you know fire all too well. You know what it's like to see it on the horizon and wonder if it'll come your way. Any day now, I know you know what a pillar of smoke looks like. So why would you add fuel to this inferno? For some people, it has never stopped burning. Martin Luther King Jr. once called this country a burning house. The only reason I know this is because of black poets. See, people with matchsticks for hands don't like to be reminded they have matchsticks for hands. Since then, I have been wondering, how many houses are burning here? How many people are living in the ashes of how their lives used to be when the seat at the dinner table wasn't kindling, when the bedroom wasn't smoldering, when a hole wasn't burned into the living room couch, back when the people they loved occupied those spaces? I tell my parents that every seat at our kitchen table is filled. This is a blessing and a privilege that there are homes with son and daughter shaped holes burned right through them, and that I'm angry. And they ask me why I'm so angry. They say, well, Martin Luther King Jr. said, hate can't chase out hate, only love can do that. Often, my anger is mistaken as hate when really, my anger is closer to love than any other emotion. Angry is the most patriotic thing we can be. When asked what we should do about this burning house we live in, MLK said the following: we must all become firemen. So Colorado Springs, I am waiting on you to trade out your matches for buckets of water and pass that love down the line until all that is left is smoke that will disappear. Leave nothing but a blue sky. Leave nothing but homes standing and neighbors, true neighbors, on the 4th of July, waving at one another from their porch swings and watching fireworks go off in the distance. Isn't that American? Isn't that the dream? Thank you.
Have you heard the news today?
A black kid was gunned down on the streets by a police officer.
Witnesses say his hands were in the air, clearly surrendering and cooperating. Police officer still shoots.
Did he fear
That young black man's gunpowder skin spits bullets from within.
Or did he just need to empty out some frustration in someone's flesh, saying
I'll write a report.
he ran
Or resisted.
He fits the
Description of someone we've been looking for. All these thugs look the same. I mean, I thought I used my taser, not my gun. Who would people believe? These hoodlums? Or me? Besides, I could use a paid vacation, and if all else fails, this badge gives me a mental illness claim. Bang!
Another brother Ziploc body bag getting carried away. Have you
Heard
heard the
the
news
news
today?
today.
In this land of the so-called free, we have the right to assemble, peacefully protesting to speak out against this corrupted justice system, marching in the streets
wanting answers, but we miss the fine print that reads, there will be consequences.
Police and military riot gear,
Canines.
fire hoses. I can feel the tear gas is burning my face.
I hear my bones break.
Have you heard the news today? The police are sworn under oath to serve and protect our communities. And we all know that bullets have no names, but apparently their trigger fingers have an appetite for minorities
And majorities.
We get no justice
when crooked cops use their peace.
As a black man in this country, so we just give up and go back to being slaves.
Mr. Officer, can I see your ID?
Can I view you as a criminal just as much as you do me?
I know your job is dangerous.
But is anyone in this precinct held accountable?
Why are indictments so swift when police blood is spilt?
I never understood why my parents never wanted us to have toy guns. Understand now. The only privilege that I have when it comes to open carry is
The right to be open, to be buried,
Mother's womb.
isn't branded with death sentence articles.
Fathers don't wrap their pride and joy in target practice sheets.
Babies don't cry chalk outlines.
Most parents believe their child will grow up to do great things, not be another homicide with more questions than answers. We are dying.
We are crying. We has never been more important in my lifetime than now.
We can't forget
Michael Brown, unarmed, just hands.
John Crawford, pellet gun in Walmart.
13-year-old Andy Lopez,
Toy,
seven
wooden
bullets to
gun,
the chest.
7 bullets to the chest. Their parents, family,
And friends.
will hold on to their deaths, reliving it over and over again. We sadly will
sadly-
move on, but we won't forget. So many shots fired.
We are still standing. We are still united. We are still fighting for justice. And that is the best news I've heard today.
Nurtured by this community, inspired